Fellas, say goodbye to Chuck Sherman the boy. I am now a man. I highly recommend you join the club. We are doing the wild thing all night.
Acid house music.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sherm.
Sherman, I cook all this food. Is that all you gonna eat?
General Sherman realized and understood the importance of house music.
So, do you know anything about techno?
No.
Listen.
Get it on. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and today is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. You know, we usually like to release on Wednesdays, but it is January in Chicago. We had some winter storms this week, but you know I'm going to get an episode out every single week for you. This week is no exception, and I'm so excited. This is episode 145, and it features a former guest, Flynninho. Now, since Flynn last came on, he's been putting in work in the studio, and has been absolutely killing it. He's also currently doing a rebranding to follow a path that fits his story and a passion on a long-term scale. In episode 145, we discussed 2020 thoughts. Like so many others, Flynn's world flipped upside down from DJing about 7 times a week to staying inside 7 times a week. However, all things considered, Flynn made some serious move and has propelled himself forward to become one of the biggest rising stars in Chicago. Now, the last time I had Flynn on was actually June of 2018. Since then, he's released over 25 originals, collabs, and remixes, and he's continued to evolve and mature with every one of his productions. It's no surprise, his music has gotten the attention of worldwide labels like Sub 49, Bring the Kingdom, Gold Digger, and Actuation. And one of the main reasons I wanted to have Flynn back on was to discuss his rebrand. A rock star at heart, Flynn has been working on redefining himself as an artist who wears his heart on his sleeve 24/7. We took a deep dive into why he made this switch, the new music that he's going to be releasing, and his plans for the future. Flynn is a dear friend of mine, and I can honestly say I've never seen him so focused and determined to make this dream a reality. He inspires me and so many others on a daily basis, and I cannot wait to see where this journey takes him. Let's all hop in the Flynninho train. Next stop, main stage. This is episode 145 with Flynninho. Wow. This is a very special moment for a lot of different reasons because, one, I'm with a close friend of mine, Flynn Collins, a.k.a. Flynninho. It's so good to have you here, man. 2, you haven't been on the show officially since June of 2018.
Feels forever.
We're both in a lot different of a place than we were then.
I just realized that's over 2 years.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2 years or like a year and a half, and I was like, holy shit.
I know, right? It's so fucking crazy that it's already 2021, but thank God.
Yeah.
Third, and certainly not least, we're here to talk about a lot of big things that you've got planned for the rest of this year, but it's good to have you here, man. Cheers.
Happy to be here. God did not bless this, but...
It's not kosher.
Yeah, this is a Hebrew show.
Yeah, we're both half Jewish. Fun
yeah,
fact.
half Jewish. we respect, everything. We got the HUTZPAH. We don't have the
HUTZPAH.
We don't have the blood of Christ. We have the HUTZPAH.
We whip out Yiddish words here and there, and it really resonates with the people when we use it.
Yeah, people don't know what we're saying.
No. But if you
When
say
you tell them, they're thrown off.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to know who taught me HUTZPAH?
Who?
A Catholic monk taught me what HUTZPAH meant.
A Catholic monk?
It was the most ironic thing. It was in school. And he literally was like...
Right.
He brought it up. I went to... For those of you that don't know, I don't know where to look, but... I mean, there.
There's, it's okay, anywhere.
But he literally taught... Like, we were going through something, and... I think it was a morality class.
Mm-hmm.
And...
You need that.
I lack the morals.
You needed that.
But, I did. And he brought up this. He's like, it's a Yiddish word. He's like, because a lot of you guys need this, and you don't have it.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a good word for it in Latin. But in Yiddish, it's chutzpah.
Yeah.
And he said it like the most Catholic, non-Yiddish speaking person on the planet.
Yeah.
I look it up. It means balls. You gotta have some balls. You have some courage.
That's
and
right.
I was like, of course. Yeah, the Jews. Oh, you gotta have some chutzpah. You gotta have some chutzpah.
You got a lot of chutzpah.
Yeah, you gotta try. And topic that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but
perfect.
There's that movie, The Hunters.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the show The Hunters, where it's Al Pacino.
Yeah.
He is a Jewish survivor of the Holocaust.
Yeah.
And going through hunting these Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of Hebrew in there and Yiddish, and the way they use it is the only time I've ever seen it accurately represented.
Yeah.
In a show, and I was just like, Wow. Al Pacino, you wouldn't think he was a Jew, but the Italians play really good Jews. So.
Is he actually Jewish?
I don't know.
Did a good job, though.
He did a really good job.
Good actor.
It's actually accurately portrayed. Yeah, so it's beautiful. I was like, wow, that's amazing that for once the Jewish community's not being made fun of on every fucking TV show.
Being acknowledged.
Yeah, being acknowledged correctly. So it was cool.
I mean, we're always willing to take movie recommendations, especially these days.
Yeah.
That's really all we're doing.
Any of them. I can give you all of them.
I've watched like almost all of the Avengers movies and Marvel movies like back now. Like Disney Plus is the shit.
Yeah.
Showing my girlfriend all of them, and I'm so in deep, bro.
You have to watch all the James Bond movies.
I got to do that. That is a good idea.
There is a lot of them, and I did that right at the beginning of quarantine, and it lasted 2 months for sure. Watching all of them, and I was.
What's the best one?
Honestly, I mean, either the one. There's that guy who played James Bond one time, and that's everyone's least favorite.
Yeah.
Or some of the ones that Daniel Craig is now. I'd honestly say. Really good. Or Sean Connery is really good, but he's kind of like it would not be PC in today's terms. Some of the shit that gets said in that.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If you're not trying to be offended, then don't watch that. But
yeah, that's true.
But you have to be.
Pierce Brosnan, Halle Berry one's classic though.
Yes, that is really good. Pierce Brosnan.
Brosnan.
I don't know.
Action Bronson was
Action
his,
Bronson
was his body double.
Is he a DJ?
Anyway,
sorry.
No surprises. We're off topic. We'll go ahead and we'll switch lanes. We're gonna talk about you today, Flynn.
Yeah.
Before we get into deep, man, I just want to know how was 2020 for you? Because you were DJing 7 days a week, pretty much up until the day before the world shut down.
Literally.
And you've been and you've been at home now for the most part. 7 days a week.
I mean,
how's it been, man? How you feel?
I mean, we were talking earlier.
Yeah.
I'm a very frank and upfront person.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it seemed like at that point, especially in Chicago, everything for me was just kind of going up, 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 up. It just kept on leveling up and escalating, and more, bigger shows, more monies, and then all of a sudden, it's just gone. And the worst part, I wasn't even upset about, that being gone. I was upset about what I was losing that was planned in the future. You know, the festival opportunities that really would have broken my career stacked on top of the label releases I locked in. Because, at that point, in March specifically, Chicago shut down the 16th? Or
that weekend, St. Patrick's Day, they canceled the parade.
Yeah, I DJed the Saturday all day, and then the Sunday I DJed Bottle Blonde for 20 people. There was nobody there. And then, but that month I had 4 label releases. I had my biggest label release up to that point on Gold Digger.
Yep.
And then I was supposed to play the birthday party, which
Soundbar.
Was Wednesday, Car Pow, birthday party myself.
Oh my god, bro, I forgot about that.
Yeah, all Gold Digger artists, and then Spring Awakening was in the talks, and North Coast was in the talks, and all that stuff. And so
we were gonna get you going on a Midwest tour.
Yeah, I was about to be on. I was about to be a lot of luxuries doing these college tours.
Yeah, exactly.
And unfortunately it wasn't, and so the first 2-3 months, I will not lie, I didn't handle it. I don't think as best as I could.
Yeah. Which is fair.
Which is for the first time in a very long time that was jarring. But once you kind of accept where you're at, you just have to make the most out of it, for lack of a better word, shitty situation.
Yeah.
Keep going, and so, obviously the city reopened for a little bit in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
And that was all right, making money, because the biggest thing was my whole income evaporated overnight.
Yeah, this is your job.
And
that's been your whole shtick too the whole time.
To have that evaporate was the hardest thing, because I worked so hard to be financially independent.
Yeah.
I gave up a lot to make that happen. A lot of hours, a lot of sleep lost, and blood, sweat, tears, all that.
Yeah.
And to have just nailed it to where I got I can finally breathe a little bit and start actually cranking away at this and enjoy it more versus than hustling.
Yeah.
More. Not to say I don't hustle all the time, but
yeah, sure.
I could actually I'd achieved a milestone for me that I wanted personally, and it was gone. So that was the biggest thing, not having money, having to move in back home. My parents, shout out Pete, Annie. Y'all are awesome.
They're the best.
Was rough, but I'm back downtown now since this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grateful, you know, for the most part, like out of a terrible situation for a lot of people, for artists especially, but you know, that doesn't matter when people are dying. But
right,
you know, to stay on the topic, like you know, I'm grateful because I still had the live releases. I released on Bring the Kingdom, Part of Hexagon.
Yeah.
And you know, King Arthur gave me that, and then you know, those things have been adding up. So it's adding this momentum that going into this year, it's something I could build on.
Yeah.
Is the money there? No. Does that make things infinitely more difficult? Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to adjust. You have to adjust and just find a way to accept, as opposed to saying, like I was saying to you before.
Yeah.
I used to say this doesn't even feel like the real world. We're not even in the real world. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
But really, this is the real world we're living in. And what I've seen in the Chicago nightlife scene, even for DJs, like, the people who are willing to stick this out are gonna be the ones who are gonna do anything they want in their life.
Yep.
If you can ride this out, you'll be fine.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you won't be hungry. Doesn't mean you won't be in debt.
Yep.
Doesn't mean any of that. But
yeah,
it does mean that you want this that badly. I know I want this that badly.
Yeah.
And so I'm just grateful for the people that, you know, have held down for me, like you and Tony and from Lavender and Max and Gracie and, you know, my parents, literally everyone, my friends from Kansas who would Zoom call me and I get annihilated with on a Zoom call. You know, like all those people have been people who believe in me to push me to do it, so I can't just stop now. Even if I want to for me, you know, because I've been being told, like, hey, seeing you do this even during like a quarantine.
Yeah.
Inspires me to keep going. Like, I've been depressed, I've been whatever. I'm just like, are you kidding me? I look at you and I'm just like, you're what's keeping me going. So
yeah,
it's a mutually beneficial thing. So 2020 taught me, you know, like if you didn't know, I think I knew, and it's just reminded to me.
Yeah.
How important people are to your music and music careers, and how much better it hits when you're playing a song for a person.
Yeah. As
opposed to over a stream.
Yeah.
Because
it's tough.
I hate streams. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I hate it. I understand. I make the most of it, and I know what it does for everyone else out there. And I'm grateful that it does that. But as an artist, man, it's not the same.
It's
like
tough.
playing in front of a huge crowd, and someone's telling you suck, or someone's telling you you're amazing. It doesn't matter. I miss it all. You know?
Yeah.
And so, people are the only thing that are gonna help you get through any of this.
Yeah.
And so, that's just the bigger life lesson. Like, I mean, music aside, like, that's the most important thing I've learned. And as a musician, it only reinforces how important it is to believe in your dreams, knowing what it does if you stay true to it, will do to other people, how it will turn off other people, how it'll turn on other people. And I'm grateful for that because, you know, I've gained a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of friends.
Yeah.
But I know who rides with me for me, regardless of as a musician or not.
I feel like you're at peace. It's kind of what it sounds like.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously it's you know, it's chaos here and there all the time.
Of course, bro.
But at this point in time, yeah, I mean, you know, some things are coming full circle and accepting a lot of things that, you know, I wish would have went my way but didn't, and just learning to still overcome.
Yeah.
That's something you cannot take away. If you falter during this time, you still have opportunity to turn it up. We have 100 days of a mask, guaranteed, because of Joe Biden.
Yep.
And so, regardless of where you're on the political spectrum, that's the reality.
Yep.
So that means you have another 3 months to work through any of your problems, or anything that's holding you back internally, deep, dark stuff. And I've been taking the time to do that, you know, and it's just kind of free me from stuff and allow me to be fully invested into what I'm doing and my vision for, you know, my brand and my music and what I want to do in my life and all stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've honestly never seen you so focused, and what I wanted to start off by talking today, which kind of leads us into the rebrand, is since you asked for on the show, man, you've released so much music, and you've grown so much as an artist, as a producer, as a collaborator, as a role model in the scene. I mean, if we look at we literally did the interview 6/26/2018. Okay, so we're gonna roll through all your releases. You ready?
Oh my god, I don't even know. I don't even know the number, to be honest.
It's well over 25.
25 in 2 years.
25 plus.
25.
Because you did a lot of remixes on SoundCloud too.
That's not even including the remixes, or is that?
It is including some of them. Honestly, you have so much fucking music, bro. It's hard to get away. It literally is.
Does that include Stop Calling Me too?
That does not even include Stop Calling Me.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't even include Stop Calling Me, but we go from crazy to
Jesus, bro.
I Know You, which low-key is a slapper. We
Yeah,
both
I
know
like
that.
it now. I love that track now. I hated it when it came out, but I love it now.
Piano House Ballad. Remember Go Back, our collab?
Yes, I just heard it again yesterday for the first time in like a year.
It's funny to hear that track and then hear Take Me to Miami and just hear like the sound design.
Yeah, or to hear like Worry, or to hear like, you know, our collaborations, like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, the idea was there.
It had
And
legs.
you're getting closer, you know?
Mhm.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay, so Go Back. But 2019 Murderous.
Yeah.
This was where you really started to develop your sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was the Flynninho sound we were trying to develop.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
G house, pluck bass, like high energy
Yeah.
though.
Mala but faster.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Mala but faster.
Darker.
That's kind of how we did it, right? I mean, obviously, like when you look at those previous tracks and then Murderous, like the quality was much higher. It was much higher.
Yeah.
When you were kind of in this process of 2018, 2019, I know you're making a lot of different types of music.
Mhm.
When Murderous, when you finished it, when it came out, after that, where were you kind of at creatively when it comes to finding your sound and building your sound like identity?
The entire time as a producer,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to make bass house. I wanted
Yeah.
to be a bass house artist.
Yeah.
Or G house or whatever it is now, because now tech house is bass house, and I do not understand that. It is so dumb.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to be a bass house artist, and you know, someone had told me, I think it was really good artists, really big artists, like someone like Flume or whatever, like that level, where it's like sometimes you will find that what you are best making, or what comes easiest, is not the genre that you want to be an artist in.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. I like that.
So the melodic stuff really comes easy to me,
Mm-hmm.
and I can make really pretty big sounds and whatever.
Yeah.
But when it came to, I like had the ideas in my head and I couldn't do it, and then so at that point, like I reached out to Got Lucky, Alex from Russia.
Is
If
a
you're
Russian.
watching. Yeah, this is a Russian. Got
What
Lucky.
up, Got Lucky? Very talented guy.
I reached out and I asked him to mentor me because his sound is exactly something that I envisioned for myself, and like
Yeah.
just show me how to do this and we'll do whatever. And so
Mhm.
we came to an agreement, and since then, like, you know, he really helped me hone in on one, defining that sound as a bass house artist, and two, how to make it,
Yeah.
how to channel my workflow to do that as a producer. And honestly, that was kind of the turning point, because then, like, you know, Murderous was the first track that I nailed the sound I was going for.
Yeah.
As a bass house artist.
You nailed
for
it.
me.
Yeah.
And so when I knew when that track would come out, it's like, based on everything else I put on, the people would be like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Is something okay? Is
You can
everything
tell right away.
Yeah. Is he all right? This got music that's got a lot darker.
Yeah.
But you know, it's monumental for me, and I owe that, you know, to learning and taking the master classes, like the Julian Jordan master class, and all the 7, 8, 9, 10, Seth Pills, Zebranovsky, like all that stuff.
Yep.
And really just focusing on being a student rather than just saying I have the idea, yeah, and figuring out as I go, like trying to figure out before, and then applying to.
And releasing.
Yeah, you know, and so when that happened, I knew, I was like, all right, this works.
Yeah.
I have a basic foundation that I can build off of, and then from there, I mean, even my sound has evolved even more so.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, if you keep on going through the releases,
Well, we're going to.
yeah, like you'll see, like even then, the original idea like I had for my brand being a dark bass house gangster artist,
Yep.
is now pushing more towards this like Julian Jordan future house, like but harder and darker.
Yeah.
Kind of walking that line between a couple different genres, and so. Is anyone else making stuff like me? I mean, honestly, I don't know. I haven't. There's some like
Saint
you know,
Punk.
Rich Diets.
Yeah.
You know, who we just got in touch with. They have the song "The Pass Me the Fucking White Claw."
Yeah.
Like there's someone who's doing something very similar. Like they don't care about the genre they're releasing as long as like you could still tell that the different genres releasing is theirs.
Yeah.
And so I've come to the realization that the genre doesn't have to define me as long as it's still me.
Yep.
And you know, for the releases I have coming this year, even you'll see it. It's like they all sound like me. Even my tech house songs sound like me.
Yep.
Even I have a future bass track coming out that will sound like me.
Yep.
And you'll be like, how does this sound like him?
Yeah.
But you'll hear the production. It's all the same idea, you know. And so once I had that locked in, I mean, the rest is just building on top of that. And
Yeah.
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful because he didn't have to mentor me. Got lucky, but he knows more English now. That's for sure. So, and I know some Russian.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so I'm very grateful. You know, it just took someone believing in me, giving me a chance.
Having a mentor is so important, man. I mean, and it was clear, like, and sort of with the whole Murderous release, you know, we did some shuffle videos, like
Mary Grace.
We all learned the proper way to release a track, whether it's self-release or with a label, right?
Mm-hmm.
We both know you can't just be a good producer these days. In
No,
fact, more than half of this shit is how you're going to release it and how you're going to get in front of people.
Yeah.
So I think we all learned a lot from that too, and I think that was a huge growth moment for you individually.
Yeah.
Knowing that, okay, not only do you need to make good music, not only do I need to have a sound, not only do I need to get this in front of the right people, but it's all encapsulating. And I could tell that 2019, the end of it, was a very big moment for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
It's transition, it's jump off, because so at the end of 2019 we had what? I Love Acid.
I was going to say honorable mention, I Love Acid, which did very well in Track Source, and I'll be playing that track forever.
Everyone does.
Dude, it's such a good track.
You want to know why I think that track did as well as it did, honestly?
Why? What's the theory?
I literally sat there and I'm like, I could name this something that falls within the lyrics that you can kind of hear.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to be like, all right, Acid Pluck, I Love Acid. People will click that.
Yeah, that's true.
People will click that. I knew it was good enough to be playing everywhere. It's like a really groovy track, and it's dark and it's bouncy. And,
good energy, yep.
And I feel like just the clickbait of I Love Acid, people will be like, all right, I've taken acid. I took acid back in college.
I'll
like,
listen.
what is this? Yeah.
I'll at least listen.
And then, you know, it just, you know, our track was being played at Space Miami.
Yep.
And I couldn't, you know, I think it was one of the Xantro dancers had it on her Instagram.
Yeah, I talked to Max about it when he was on,
And I begged her. I'm like, please send it. As soon as I got the text, please save it. She's like, oh, no. Sorry, I was fucked up. And
it disappeared off my phone.
I was like, I didn't get to see it. Everyone else saw it. I didn't get to see it. And so I'm just told that's what happened.
It is true.
But, you know, I'm grateful because, like, then that was a huge jumping off point, too, because that was the first time a big artist who was known, Golf Clap, supported it, put it on their cookout mix, and then people were like, oh, this is so sick, blah, 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 and all these people are following me that I know, you know, like, and I'm just like, or artists' music I listen to, and I'm just like, this is so weird.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, you're you. Do you know who I am? I'm nobody.
That's right.
You. So it was dope. You know, and promo goes into that. I put more promo into that track than I have any other track. I feel like I made the Yoda memes. Memes where he taps the button and it starts playing again. Yeah. And you know how long it took? I would make videos like that.
You cared
but
a lot.
I learned how to, you know, and so
I love that though.
It was really dope, and Chicago got behind it. I think we played Spy Bar for the first time ever, right around that too.
Yeah, you did.
After that release, and so it was just kind of things were picking up, and that was going into 2020, and then just, you know.
Well, I mean, dude, like all things considered, you took it to another level in 2020, right? So let's run through this, okay? And we're gonna talk about a few that I think kind of.
I'll let you finish this time.
Again.
To,
What do you mean? I'm interviewing Flynninho. I want you to interrupt me. There are some in here that when I've listened back through over the past year and especially recently that make a lot of sense now to what you liked and not didn't like, but take aspects of them. I don't think you have a song that you didn't like, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
So Wanna Rock and Roll, great EP released on Sub 49. That was a big win for you. That was a extremely well recognized label, right? So that's another like, okay, notch in the toolbar, right?
Yeah.
Like I got a little bit of this. Sick tracks. Wanna and Rock and Roll. Cafe Disco remix, All These Pretty Girls, over 100K plays on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So now we're getting a little taste of the Spotify stream life.
Yeah.
It's a fucking great track.
I hate Spotify, but
I hate Spotify too, but I'm
it's
so
the name
glad
of the
that
game.
track did well.
Yeah.
And it's a great remix. Shout out to the Cafe Disco
Yeah,
guys.
for
Shout out to
Shout out
Austin.
to Patrick, Paul.
Yep.
And Austin for being on the track. So.
Now I remember Worry came out right when I played Galantis, so this was like March 6th, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right. I didn't know it was that close to the.
Worry. Yep. Our collaboration on True Musica. We really got a taste of your tech house side.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was awesome to
percussion.
collaborate. Dude, it was so great releasing that track with you. And then Come On comes out on Born Dirty's Gold Digger, right? Bad timing, but still.
Yeah.
That track I think tells a big story because not only one was it such a great track, two, it was the biggest label release that we had to date for you.
I've been listening to that label since I started getting into like bass house.
Dude, Born Dirty's been around. I remember him.
It's Nico. Nico Tambor Baton.
Yes.
Not Born Dirty. We fucked this up last time.
No, I thought, but it's
Born Dirty is released on there a bunch. He's one of the rostered members. I think he might be the A&R too.
Right.
But it's Nico's label.
Nico, oh, yes, you're right. You're right. But Born Dirty is
Sorry,
like
I'm getting caught up on specifics.
heavily affiliated. How about that?
Yes.
So the fact that like he was definitely in the room where it happened, where he said, "I love this track."
Yeah.
So that was big. Right?
That was huge. I mean, Tony sent that track out to all these labels, and then when did they respond? We sent that out in January, March, May, June, July, August, October, November.
Months before.
And then in January, this is the email we get to artists. This is the email we get. So like, just know you may send a track and be like, they didn't like it, whatever.
Yeah.
3 months later, we get an email from Nico. Hey man, like the track, down to release it. That's all it said. That is all it said. I'm just sitting there.
Take note, producers. You never fucking know. You really
never
don't.
know.
You gotta give it 2 months.
I got the email. I was sitting there. I was like, did you guys just? What did you email that? He's like, I sent the email like 3 months ago.
Yeah. We all forgot.
And I was just sitting there. I was just like, so these labels will really listen.
Yeah.
You know, some of them will, some of them won't. But I was grateful because I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
You know, Gold Digger releasing that, and it was huge because like the release date coincided on the same day that that birthday party Wednesday Carpow release, or like that birthday party was.
Yep.
And they'd all released on Gold Digger as well.
Yep.
So it was really cool. We were gonna get like a footage sent to Gold Digger, they put up and all that stuff, and then didn't happen. But yeah, I mean that was a jumping off point where I was like, holy shit, I can actually do this. Like,
yep.
People are actually taking recognition. Not that I didn't think I could do it, but the first time where someone actually was like, hey, this is good. We would want that. And I was like, fuck, yes. And I'm so grateful, you know. But
I love that.
yeah, it was huge. I think I cried.
You did.
I did cry. He's like, yeah, you did.
It was a big confidence booster.
Yeah,
and
man.
again, I think there are a lot of elements from that track as well. Like your synth work and sound design in that one, I think was really, really special. That I definitely hear in a lot of your unreleased tracks that people haven't heard yet. But you will release another EP, the Get Up EP, with Brad Barcy and Austin Fillmore. Heavy energy on that one. Let's not forget Anthem out on Quantum Music Group.
Huge in China.
Dude, it's fucking murderous on steroids.
Yeah. if we described that whole story, there'd be remember who that was for originally?
No.
The vocals? Mary Grace?
Oh, yeah.
And so I made a faster track, kind of like mixed it a little different. But I still want to keep my sound. It's supposed to be a shuffling anthem.
God, I forgot about that.
I released it on this label, you know, it reached out to me, asked me if they had my songs. They're like a British Chinese label. And the thing is, it came out right as China's was going through the worst times of COVID.
Yeah.
In China.
And
it blew up like COVID, for no pun intended. And in China, it's like a huge track. And here, you know, it did really well. A lot of people like, that track is so sick, it's so dark.
Yeah.
And I kind of nailed what I was building on before and where I was going.
Yeah, for
you
sure,
know?
bro.
Because you can hear the evolution. It's kind of weird. I didn't realize until I listened through all of them.
I mean, it's a great track.
Yeah.
And that's another one where I definitely hear a lot of G house elements. And kind of speed house. And, you know, we'll talk about kind of how you're kind of moving into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But Pull Up on Oral Sex, which was awesome.
Also huge.
Shout out Brian Garecki.
Yeah, shout out Brian for hooking it up.
That one was awesome.
I love that track.
I love that track.
I love that track.
I love everything.
It was one of my favorites, so it was like cool to see like a label sign it.
It's dope, dude.
You have personal favorites, you know? Yeah.
It reminds me of just so many different golden age.
Yeah,
EDM.
well,
when EDM started to take like a dark turn.
Yeah, and
kind
he
of
was
Skrillex came out with Scary Monsters.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, it's not just all Armin van Buuren and Alexa and Swedish House Mafia. Like people get fucking strange with this shit, right?
It's so the trend that was going through that time, which I really, really, really liked, was it's like this vocal, like call and response, like with the bass line for these like bass house tracks. I can't remember. It was like Jack and someone, they released this track. I cannot remember it. And that's the first time I heard it, I'm like, wow, I really like that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And like the bass lines, the plucky bass lines that I have or I've built my sound on, like they bounce back and forth with a vocal. Mm-hmm. And then the second drop, I just was just like, I want to go hard. So it's cool that you can make it all work, you know? And that was one of my personal favorites for a long time, so to see it get picked up by the label who is how I found Got Lucky off of.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, and the name Oral Sex, I mean, who doesn't like Oral Sex?
Dude, it's such a cool name.
Yeah.
Such a great label, too. Every release on there is dope. Now, Moonlight was somewhere around in here, too, wasn't it?
Yes. They released the same day or the same day or a week apart. Or no, they released the same week. It was 2 days between each release.
Now that was a dope track too.
Yeah, it was the first time I collabed with Got Lucky.
I was like, if it was festival season, Rez would be dropping that at GDC, bro.
I would
You
have
guys gotta check that track, and if you haven't, I think it's
Mid-tempo,
a very underrated Flynninho and Got Lucky track.
The sound design on that track is mind-boggling.
Yeah, no.
And like I remember when I sent like my idea to Got Lucky.
Yeah.
And I asked him to collab, and I was nervous, and because he's my mentor, so I'm just like, it's like asking like your sensei, like, hey, do you want to come party with me? Like,
hey, bro, you smoke weed?
Yeah, you smoke weed? And you'd be like, are you kidding me? But I was grateful because he just showed me some stuff on that track, like the second drop, like that.
Yep.
I was sitting there, I was just like, whoa. That's dope. And that part, you know, like he showed me what he was trying to do, and then we kind of helped each other. But he was definitely in the driver's seat. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I'm learning so much, and this is such a cool track.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, sometimes with house, like the rhythm of just 120 to 129, 130, it gets repetitive, you know? And it's like the slower house, like when you see Mala and Rez collabing, or Jackknife, or something like that. I've always liked that. The same way I like the speed house, where it's like slow and sexy. It's like a warehouse kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And so to be able to do it and have it hit, and to be able to have Chateau Brillant, which is Gold Digger's sub-label, release that.
Yep.
Because I sent it to Nico, and I was like, hey, man, do you know anyone that pick us up? He's like, oh, yeah, we'll put on our sub-label. I look who's released on their sub-label, like Abstract's released on that label.
Did he respond more quickly this time?
Oh, yeah, he responded like right after. He's like, yeah, we'll sign that for a sub-label. And I was just sitting there, as like, wow, this is cool. So, you know, building momentum, different genres, is, you know.
Yeah.
So, cool.
I mean, dude, listen. Think again.
Drinking all the liquids here, wine.
That's
monster.
okay. We got it all, bro. I know how you love your liquids. Should I have brought a blue Powerade as well?
No. Electrolyte it out.
Okay. I mean, like, look at all these tracks we've already talked about, dude. We're maybe 70% of the way there.
Yeah.
So I just want you to be proud of what you accomplished in 2020. I want to acknowledge you again.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You pushed it, bro. You really did. It's impressive you stayed creative. We'll talk about that at the end.
Yeah.
But out of left field, come back with Jay Willie.
Yeah. So
I mean, we get this beautiful and
Future
emotional
bass track.
future bass track after this fucking homie's releasing Bass House.
TikTok picked it up for their playlist on Spotify.
Dude, and it's a great track. Like, it really is. Shout out Jay Willie. Someone who's working really, really hard in the studio. We got a lot of respect for, Chicago kid. But tell us how that track came together, because that was just out of nowhere.
So originally, like when we were making the track, like I was saying earlier, like that melodic stuff and like those big sounds, future bass is probably the best genre I can make, like easily.
Yeah, you do.
I love it. I think it has a place, you know, like just as much as having the bass house has a place too.
It's hard to get into.
Yeah,
You're trying
and,
to
know,
like be that.
And it was kind of inspiring to see like over quarantine, like artists trying and putting out different stuff they wouldn't normally put out.
Definitely.
So originally I was just gonna sell that track, you know, or I was gonna say, hey Jay, like, you know, we'll split the profits and whatever. Because I mean he knew that going in too, you know, but it was just kind of like to work together. And then I'm sitting on this track, I have an offer, and I'm just like, dude, fuck it. Like, why not? It's dope. It's beautiful.
It is.
And and it was really cool, you know, to like, cause Jay Willie, like Max and I pretty much like brought into the scene in Chicago.
Yep.
Through Parlay, and so to have that moment for us was really cool, and also see like I was nervous as fuck putting that track out because, like I said, all my music is dark pretty much. Minus at that point, I Know You. Every other track was darker, and everyone would be like, oh, what the fuck? Why is he going? Is he going soft now? Blah,
right.
Blah, blah. And it's just like, no, like I'm more than, I'm a person. I have other likes in music, you know. Yeah. My polls are from everywhere from, you know, modern times, like a track like Unforgettable, to Rage Against the Machine, to Limp Bizkit, to Jaws, to Mala, to you know, Kai Wachi, to Jai Wolf. Like, those are all people I've seen in concert.
Yeah.
You know? And so I hope that 2020, what it does for artists, because I know Getter, he released a bunch of soft stuff. We got booed so much, even though the tracks were amazing.
Yeah.
His best music, to be honest with me.
Yeah.
That he canceled his tour right before he got in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I was afraid, you know, but 2020 has shown, like, because these bigger artists are releasing some new stuff and trying new shit,
Yeah.
now I have wiggle room. And so I'm really glad that track got the praise it did. Everyone loves that song. That's like,
It's a good
you know,
song,
that
dude.
that knows me but doesn't know me like now.
Yeah.
That like I knew from a past or whatever. They're like, that's your best song. And you know, it's because it's melodic and everything, and you know,
Well,
I like it. I love it.
I mean,
I love it. There's a place for both, you know, and as an artist, you shouldn't be afraid to push both, you know. That's why
yeah.
I think starting my career, not knowing what the fuck I wanted to release,
Yeah.
helped me in a way too, because I now feel like I have the freedom to release mid-tempo, tech house, deep house, bass house.
You do.
We have a progressive house track,
Yeah.
you know. So like, and that track's beautiful. It's sick. And so as opposed to like Martin Garrix having to make like Y-Tram, you know,
Yeah.
which is Marty backwards, which is actually that's really smart. I didn't think of it. I'm like, Y-Tram is so cool. I'm like, oh, it's Marty. Like, as opposed to doing that, like, why take the following away? Why do you need separation? Why can't you be all of those things? You know, you see it in youth sports. That's what I went to school for, if you didn't know. Sports management, business majors, so got the degrees.
Shout out those business majors.
Yeah, shout out to all y'all. Like, specializing in one thing, in theory, yes. It will get you, and it does, you've seen it, you know, in real, how it's applied in real life.
Yeah.
It does work, where if you specialize, you know, you will probably be in the light. But what if you're not that good in that, and you
Yeah.
specialize?
Right.
Whereas if you try to put something else out, and you suddenly see it hits, imagine if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
And if that track changed your life, versus, I don't know, being stuck with your parents in the basement making music because you feel like you're stuck in a box.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't care about releasing different genres anymore,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it shows other artists, hey, you can make other things. You know, I'm not the top, the best ever, and frankly, that's not my goal. Is just to be a good person in that day. So that's really what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
But I know I'm talented. You know, so I keep that in mind, and so you know, you have to have balls. You have to have chutzpah to just believe in your music that much. You know, not everyone will like your music. I hate to break the news.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone's gonna like your music. Not everyone's gonna fuck with everything you put out. The tracks you like, people probably will hate. That's how it goes.
usually how it goes.
You know.
Yeah.
And you won't understand why. But at the end of the day, so what? Each track has its place. And it doesn't matter if it is future bass and bass house or whatever. It might be confusing.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna disagree. You know, there are some things you have to do in terms of to find your sound. Then you can go back and do it. But yeah, I mean, you should be able to release whatever you want. And if it's a good song is a good song. You know that. You DJ in the clubs. A good song is a good song.
Whatever works.
You know,
man.
yeah.
I mean, that's why I want you to ask. I wanted to get a better understanding on that one because you did go outside your comfort zone, and
Yeah.
I think it kind of again it led you to where you're at now.
It was a week of decision to release that song.
It was, bro.
Yeah.
And it did really well, and I'm super glad you guys did. But
Thank you.
to kind of round out your end of the year, which was big,
Yeah.
to say the
Went
least.
hard.
I mean, It's Still Nothing with Ronco. Shout out Milwaukee.
Everyone played that
R.I.P.
song.
to Site 1A, by the
Yeah.
way. Of King Arthur.
Shout out to you.
Amazing guy.
And King Arthur.
Shout out to King Arthur, man. Bring the Kingdom, which
Yeah.
is a label that just started in 2020 and has done super
big artist.
well. Big artist,
Yeah.
incredible amounts of streams, and you released It's Still Nothing, which was a club banger, to say the least.
Yeah.
And it's going to come back, I promise you that, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
But
everyone
that one
supported
was
that,
another
yeah.
one where I felt like it really solidified you as a
An
DJ,
artist, yeah.
as an artist.
Yeah.
And to get massive support from
Everyone,
worldwide DJs,
like
bro.
Sid, Mike,
Williams,
Mike
Don
Williams,
Diablo.
yeah, Don Diablo playing it 3 weeks in a row on his radio show.
Pretty cool.
I was just like, wow.
Pretty cool.
I'm sitting there like, Don Diablo played
You're
my
on
track.
1001 track list.
Yeah, dude, that's how you know you
like
made
when
it.
You know you made
know?
it, bro.
And, like,
It
if
is.
you're on 2001, you know, I was so Fetty Legrand, you
Yeah.
know, like people who I look up to, and I'm like, wow, I would love to be that, or like that's so dope, or they're so cool, or so good.
Yeah.
They're playing. That's the first time massive wide support.
Yeah.
By everyone.
Yep.
And all the big artists. And it sucks that it was during quarantine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that that's not, you know, I don't need to play it out to know what the track is, but to know that so many other artists like that song, I mean, I can't.
Yeah.
Why, like, that's literally just, that's all you want as an artist is to know that other artists will fuck with you.
Straight
fuck
up,
your
bro.
music, you know, and they probably don't know how to say my name either. Flynninho, Flying Ho.
Flying Ho.
It's Flynninho.
It's Flynninho.
Flynninho, like Ronaldinho.
There we go.
Yeah.
For those that didn't know. Massive shout out to our boy Tricker, your collab Juice.
Yeah.
With Real Name James, a high energy collab that honestly is techno, bro, in some parts.
Yeah.
Now when you really picked it up, Speed House, G House, I mean, like, that was an awesome collab.
It was the quarantine collab.
It was a quarantine collab.
Yeah.
And he's a very talented guy himself. Of course, Take Me to Miami EP with me, you, and Max on House of Hustle. Here you are releasing
Bangers.
Tech House again, bro. Just straight bangers. I can't wait to play Take Me to Miami. And
When did we sign that track? Or those tracks?
Oh my god, February.
February, right?
March.
Released in February. We think, oh yeah, coming out in November, it'll be perfect.
I remember we found out when I did we'd found out in March, April. We found it in April, and I did a stream in May, and I was like, this is coming out in November, and I remember saying it to myself, I was like, fucking November, what's gonna happen in November? And now we are in fucking January, but
I mean,
great EP,
yeah,
man. That was
amazing.
just fun to
We
collab
crushed
with
it.
you guys on
Max
that.
crushed it too.
And last but not least, shout out to our boy Isaac Palmer.
Pressure.
On
On Actuation.
Actuation, this baby has racked in 300,000 plays on Spotify.
It's
bro.
insane.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I mean,
You want to talk about fucking Anthem?
yeah,
Like
bro.
this shit, bro. We literally sometimes don't know what music's gonna hit. I think it just goes back to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just releasing music that you're making and you feel good about in that moment.
Yeah.
Finish the track, get it on a label, self-release it, whatever. Move on.
I mean, what you have to accept as an artist, and the way that track showed me is like, okay, one, I'm working with the insanely talented Isaac Palmer. Decided to spin in and
Future superstar.
yeah, he'll be big. Isaac Palmer.
Shout out Isaac.
We hope you're doing well.
He's doing well. Talked to him yesterday.
Let's go. But yeah, you know, it was like I realized I wanted to collab with him because we've known him personally.
Yeah.
We went to his graduation party.
High school.
I didn't even have a graduation party. I didn't go to a graduation. And so, you know, to have that track with him and have it released, you know, and it's his first label release, I knew how big of a moment that was for him.
Yep.
And I was so fortunate to be part of that.
Yeah.
And then to see it do so well, and then we had those like dancing little astronaut thing, that video.
Yeah, we had that made. That was awesome.
And that was so cool, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is crazy. And you know, it doesn't sound like a lot of my other stuff. It still sounds like me, but you
It's
can
got a taste.
Yeah, it's got a taste, and we're trying something new, and we're putting it out there, and it hit. And I had so many DJs that didn't know playing that track, tagging us in it, and I'm like, have you heard my other music? Like, you know, like this is different from other stuff. But I knew it was good enough to release, and so at some point you just have to sit there and say, okay, listen.
Yeah.
Tracks will never be perfect. They will never be perfect. It will never come out however you envision in your head. It will almost never happen.
Yep.
You just have to kind of go with it, see where it goes, and believe in yourself to make it work however it comes out.
Yeah.
And you'll know as an artist, if you're being real yourself, what's good enough to release
Yep.
and what's not. That track was definitely good enough to release.
It's a great track.
And it's a great track. And so, you know, like I said, it was like we were saying earlier, like, I didn't think that track would do as well as it did. And
I don't
I'm
think
grateful.
any of us did.
Yeah, we were sitting there like 300,000. I didn't even know the
It's
number.
still going, dude.
I didn't even know the number was up there. Yes, the last time I checked, it was like 225.
Yeah, I just checked it.
And so I'm grateful. You don't know what's gonna happen. You
Yeah.
know, so as an artist, you have to just believe. That's it. Blindly, it's like being religious. You know, just believe blindly, follow your vision, because eventually, you know, it's that quote like, I don't believe in luck, but I'll be a lot luckier if I practice more.
Yeah, I like that.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's true. You'll end up in the right place if you're around the right place.
Yep.
More of the time than not. You know.
Yeah,
So,
dude. Love it.
Grateful.
And then if you look at all these tracks from the last time you've been on Sherman the Booth until right now, bro, you just released Kickstart My Heart, the Flynninho Fuck Up remix, right?
Yeah.
Again,
Had to be a cover on Spotify, but whatever.
that's okay. It's on Spotify.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. Shout out to Stroke.
I mean, all of these tracks have a story of their own.
Yeah.
You were making them all in what sounds like, after you explain them, a different mental space, a different creative space, a different motivated space when we talk about how 2020 turned out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have refocused your energy
Yeah.
to kind of encapsulate what you want to be 24/7, right? This fucking rock star. And I'm going to let you take it from there. But let's talk about, first off, why you chose to release this to be the first one. Kickstart My Heart, Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Why the rebrand? Why this song?
So, you and I started talking about the rebrand when? That would have been...
Summer.
2019 summer.
Yeah.
I had the idea of it after Saint Punk had started releasing these tracks. Like, we did the Nirvana remix, he did, like, the Express Yourself remix, he did, like, the Used remix.
Yeah. Right.
And I was sitting there, I was like, yo, this is fucking cool as shit.
They do so well, too.
Yeah, and they do so well. And, I saw it for the first time when I played the Concord show in October that year for Valentino Con.
Yeah.
I dropped that Saint Punk remix, and everyone just lost their shit. And that was a track I had the most fun playing. I was nervous because I'm like, this is hard. And Isaiah was like, don't go hard. And I was nervous, but I'm like, I'm feeling it. Like, I feel like it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
And to see the reaction, because that's what I grew up on. My dad was a rock star. My dad did the music thing.
Yep.
My dad was part of the whole grunge thing. Big, long hair, like, hair down to his ass, leather jackets,
Seriously? And he is a rock star still.
Yeah, he still is a rock star. Still makes music. He's the one that put Logic on my computer, And so, I don't think that I wasn't being fully myself, but I think that I was getting away from what I was really trying to do.
Yeah.
Just because of what, nightlife scene is. I'm a black sheep compared to, someone who looks more like a DJ. Like, I look more like a fucking alternative bassist in a pop punk band or something.
You could be emo.
Yeah, I am. You can still see the nail polish. I don't know if you can see that, but it's on there still.
It is.
And so, I know we talked about it, and then especially over quarantine, what really messed with my mental health was seeing here, like, looking at artists who are big, who I look up to.
Yeah.
Posting all these videos from big shows, and, like, their life is perfect, and they're still in their mansion, and they're still doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, dude, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. And I wouldn't say it was jealousy, because I wasn't. Maybe a little bit was at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, this is not real. Like, they're not, like, no artist is saying they're acknowledging what's actually, happening fully.
Yeah.
No one's sitting there saying, like, I'm depressed. I am now working at a car dealership.
In the beginning, it was a lot of fakeness. I agree.
Yeah.
I had a great conversation with Toombs about that, actually.
Yeah.
Halfway through the pandemic, yeah.
What did he say?
He said people have not been open enough about mental health.
Yeah, and especially, as in 2020 and 2021, I'm obviously very aware that talking about mental health is a lot more prevalent than it was.
Yeah.
It's still not enough. And so I'm sitting there like, there's a difference between being positive and being fake.
Yeah.
I tried to accurately portray that as much as I could. But I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this is not telling the real story of what it is to be an artist. This is not telling the real story of what it is to be struggling during this time, or when it was before quarantine, what it's actually like.
Yeah.
Because every artist would be like, oh my god, it was amazing, so grateful for fans, but they're not talking about how not every artist, but what it's like in the green room at 5 a.m. where there's drugs all around you.
Yeah.
And there's alcohol all around you.
Yep.
And there are girls that will, say anything to go home with you.
Yeah.
Or guys, if you're a woman DJ. People that will use you.
Yep.
And they're just gonna act like, oh, it's all just, happy, whatever. And I understand some of it, but what inspired the Motley Crue remix was because, that movie Dirt came out.
Yeah.
And they were actually like that. That's the crazy part. They were upfront about, hey, we're partying. We don't care about people's opinions.
Yep.
We are fully ourselves. We don't care if you don't like what we look like.
Yep.
We're going to put out the music that we want. And if you fuck with it, cool. If you don't, cool. But we're going to show you exactly what it is. And they did.
Yep.
And that's the only time really outside of... No. Really, that's the only time as an artist that I can really think of who accurately portrayed that publicly.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And so, one, I love Motley Crue. Two, I'm trying to, really sell it. And apply what has been lost in modern music. There was always like, you know, I don't know if it's a sound or a feeling, but when Ludacris was on every track, like early 2000s, you're like, shit, Luda, another one? And now you're just like, oh yeah, like rap music, like, you know, like there's good rap. There's still good rap. There's still good rap that has that feeling, but it's not mainstream.
Right.
And so the mainstream is completely changed.
Yeah, true.
And so I describe like the rebrands kind of like bringing back that feeling that old music had, like a Motley Crue, like, you know, My Chick Bad, like I don't know, Forever by Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Like even the EDM songs are coming out.
Something
like,
you can get attached to.
Yeah, something you can get attached to that actually has a feeling of like they actually gave a fuck.
Yeah.
And apply it within my own taste, which is the bass house. And so it's really cool. A lot of these like metal songs, these guitar songs, perfect synth shots. You layer them with a couple synths, you distort the shit out of them. And it works. And you know, with this whole like future bass house thing that Stamped is doing, like it fits within that realm, which is a sound I love and I'm going for.
Right.
And I really feel connected to me. The brand connects to me. And I no longer have to hide and sit there and act like, you know, oh yeah, everything is great when I'm really like haven't slept in 2 days.
Yeah.
And I'm struggling and I need caffeine.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm craving like cigarettes, or I'm broke as hell because clubs haven't paid me.
Right.
Or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's the realness.
Being upfront, because really that's the only way, I think, for me, mentally, to be able to do this shit, is if I'm me 24/7, DJing to making the music to how I'm as a person, there's no different person. I'm the same person between all three.
Yep.
You know, I'm wild and I'm fun and I'm compassionate, and sometimes I'm very book smart, but sometimes I'm not the country's chip in the bag. I know it's about me. My parents said that. My mom told her. I know. It was brutal. But I know what I am. And so why do I have to hide that? Why do we have to hide the bad shit? Because really that's the whole reason why people get depressed. They feel like they have to hide, especially in men. You know, men, musicians who we've been losing like flies, like I.O. You know, you read, like, really when he released that statement, what you saw, that whole like thing?
Yeah.
Or when that came out to light?
Yeah.
I sat there reading that, and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been trying to say to everyone around me. Mm-hmm. And this may be dark, so warning. But
yeah, it's deep.
I sat there, and I'm like, why does someone have to die to prove that?
Yeah. Why
does someone have to die to make that stick, you know, or lose life? Like, because at the end of the day, people are the most important thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of like woke up. It really reaffirmed, because that was, you know, what was that, October, November? Even September, maybe? I think it was October.
His death?
Yeah.
It was November, December. It was even more recent.
Yeah. And so, like, it really, like, confirmed in me, because everything I'm saying, he said, you know? And that was before I even... I didn't even know he wrote that. I didn't even see that until after, and I literally sat there, and I'm just like, this is everything I was trying to say, and he's right. We see it every day. And so, being a musician and an artist, a creative, is already fucking hard. You know, so you have to make it easier on yourself to... And really, honestly, like, the works that you are fully open and vulnerable for, people will really resonate with. Like, the real shit, the right people, it'll click with.
Yep.
And that's all I've come to realize. It's not everyone. I don't need to appeal to everyone, because I don't.
You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah, I don't, and I can't, you know? But what I realized is that, like, the right people, it'll resonate with.
Yep.
You know, the people that need someone like that. You know, the people that I need to be around. And so, obviously, if you go on my Instagram, there's some very, like, real things are being portrayed about, you know, things I've experienced, things in my life. And, I mean, I don't know anyone else who's doing that. I don't. And so...
I mean, you're telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean, and if I have to be the one, then so help me God. Like, I don't care. Because if it even inspires one person to just be, like, more comfortable in themselves...
Yep.
Then that's the whole point. And then I'm succeeding. You know, it's not about the streams at that point. It's about, you know, pushing a positive message across. You can be whoever you want. You can like whatever you want. And you can do whatever you want. You have to work for it. And all those things. But I don't know. So it's kind of like, you know, my body and soul is in this now, as opposed to like if it wasn't before, which I think it was, but you know, you kind of lose it. You lose it along the ways, and you have to constantly like keep it sharpening yourself and your.
You were kind of
beliefs.
sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your brand, sacrificing who you.
Yeah, you know, for the, I mean, to be honest, like the top 40, the income.
Right,
I mean, that's what it is, and so. It's a line that I have to walk, you know. But at this point, like I've reached a point now, and you'll know this as an artist when you can, because don't be wrong, you can't just be fucking crazy and wild if you don't have the credibility. Okay?
Yes.
And I'm not saying I'm anyone special, but
yeah, well said.
But I know my worth. I know what I am. I've accepted I'm not gonna be the mainstream pick. But if I do, cool. If I don't, cool. I'm just trying to be a good dude first. Go to art second. That's it. And so
I like that.
this embodies that. This is real. I'm a real person. You know this. I'm very blunt. I'm very bad at sugarcoating. Even though I love sugar, I can't sugarcoat anything. I'm really bad at it. And so why hide that?
Yeah.
You know.
I mean,
so I'm grateful because you and Tony really gave the belief. And you, Tony, Colton, Bacher, videographer,
I was
doing the
gonna
whole
say
creative
shout out to
design.
Colton.
Yeah.
I mean, but Flynn, like, that's why I think this is so special because I've never seen you be so yourself and, like I said, at peace, man. Like,
Yeah.
you are wearing your heart on your sleeve 24/7 now.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like nothing can get in your way, and you are just so determined, and you're an inspiration to like me and so many others,
Thank you,
dude,
bro.
because of
Likewise.
this motivation, because of your selflessness at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
and also because you are being a little selfish too.
Yeah.
Like you're doing this like thing that's so human, and I think it's so special. Like, I know what you have coming, bro. Like I've heard the music, I've been hearing the music, and he's got a lot
It's
coming.
the best music I've made.
But it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's so much
me.
more than the music. It's
It's
so much
me.
more than a track that I like. It's what does this track represent? It's these remixes that you have coming of songs that are so emotional for our generation.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, is there anything you think you can tell us about right now? That's
So if you tune in, what's the date today? Today is
the 26th.
If you go 2 days to, I think it's Armada or Monster Cat's live stream.
Yeah.
Go Saint Punk. He'll be dropping a remix.
Yes.
That comes out in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, March. Of a really big track.
Did he like it?
Oh, he loved it. Yeah, he asked me. Told me to send him fire. so
Yeah.
so I sent him originals and I sent him that one too, and that one will also be like huge because all the songs I'm picking to release and remix are songs that were important to me.
Yeah.
Like
they're specifically selected.
I know. I don't want to list that one yet because I want that to hit. But
Yeah.
I know down the future, for example, I want to remix "Incomplete" by Backstreet Boys. My mom
Hell yeah.
for my mom because my mom loved that song. We used to jam to Backstreet Boys all the time, and so I'm like, how do I take Backstreet Boys and make it hard, which is something I've
love
been
that.
toying with. But like they all have meaning to me.
Yeah.
And so when the tracks have meaning to you, like I feel like then making the music is a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's also a lot more frustrating because you really want to nail what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, yo, I know these are songs that people know, and that's not to get like publicity.
Yeah.
That's just, hey, these songs were songs for a reason. These songs were important to me. Like I will never play a song that I do not like.
Yeah.
That I cannot find a way to like something about. Whether
Yeah.
it's top 40 or house, I will not play the biggest song in the world if it sucks.
Right.
To me,
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited. Like these tracks, like I feel like I'm making all this music over quarantine and like it's all like the best music where it's like
Yeah.
this is my sound.
Yep.
And this is me, fully me. And now that the branding and archiving over like 3,000 Instagram posts took fucking forever.
Yeah, we really went for it, guys. Like, we really are doing this.
I wanted a clean slate, and I wanted to just kind of restart and start as if like I just started making music again.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that a lot of people, it's resonated with so many people, that remix especially, like Juice played that, like all my homies over in France played that, like
Yep.
Humane and then like Young and then like, Blackout and like literally the last day that Site A was open, they had that Going Away Party, Rocco dropped it. I'm like, I haven't even been able to drop that song out live yet, you know? But I'm grateful because you see people are confused. They're like, why is he playing Motley Crue in the middle of a house set?
Yeah.
And then it just smacks. And so, I don't know.
It does.
I'm just grateful to finally have that freedom personally to do that. Because then at that point, what you were saying earlier, like the selfish and selflessness kind of like thing, if I can do that, then I will be selfless anywhere else.
Yeah.
And as a person, same thing. If you can fully just hone in on doing what you have to do for you, you will be a lot more willing to be giving and selfless to everyone else.
Yeah, bro.
Something I realized, like it's weird. It's like reverse psychology almost. And so, like to me, I don't care about anything else. Like if I can be that, then why am I gonna worry where we go to eat or what we do? Like I don't care, you know. Like, and I mean that in the sense like I don't care. Like oh yeah, you're not important. Like I literally don't care because we can do anything.
Yep.
You know, and it's beautiful. It's changed my life. It's really weird. It's crazy.
It's incredible.
I'm glad you could see that. I didn't even notice that in me.
Hey, that's what I'm here for, bro. Friend,
Yeah.
manager, confidant,
Collaborator,
therapist, whatever you need, bro.
yeah, likewise.
Flynn, I might know the answer to this question, but what is your main goal for this rebrand long term, and what are some of the short term goals that you're going to do to make that happen?
Well, short term, I think, you know, kind of just like nailing these next 9 months with the social media.
Yep.
I forgot to post today. But it's okay, I can post tomorrow. It still works.
That's okay.
Sorry, you're seeing how that relationship works.
We'll talk about this off camera.
You should be really hard on yourself. You know, nailing that, you know, kind of enjoying and seeing it where it goes, because really I have no expectation.
Yeah,
as long,
enjoy the process.
I'm
I
just
like
trying
that.
to enjoy the process, and then after the 9 months, I know like we are kind of analyzing it as we go. We have to be open to like if a label picks up a song, like how to adjust kind of what we're doing social media wise, the story we're telling,
right?
To match it. But like long term, like I just want to be releasing the music I want, whether it's on a label, whether it's independent. I don't care. Like I'm going to be touring the world. I'm going to be, you know, doing the most I can to be there for people.
Yep.
And I'm going to be, you know, everything I possibly want to be, as long as I put in the work for it, as long as I stay true and see out some of the things and to find out what works and what doesn't, because this career is like long term for me. Like this is it. This is all I want to do. You know, I want to be like a silver fox at like 50, playing in Ibiza, maybe, you know, at that point playing tech house because the bass house hurts my ears, you know, or I'm deaf in one ear. I don't know. But,
yeah, I love it.
You know, the whole mission's the same throughout it's the same goal I have for myself as a person, you know. I just want to inspire, connect, motivate through everything I do. Music is my platform for it, and that's why I think when I'm DJing, you can see that I'm having the time of my life playing whatever. Because if they're having fun and like you can see you're making those moments and those memories for those people.
Yeah.
And I'm just part of it. You know, I'm not the show. Like we are all the show. You know, like at Prism, like me, dancers, light guy, like people, bottle girls, managers. That's all. That's the whole show.
Yep.
And so, you know, I'm just grateful I get to be part of it. And for as long as I'm allowed to, I'm going to do it. And, you know, pretty much until I literally can't hear, probably. And you know, just being that person and knowing that I'm going to do it and I know the work it takes, and just giving credit where credit's due and staying humble, you know. But also, you know, Marquis taught me, like, he said this, I was going through some very personal things. And shout out Marquis, best DJ in Chicago, by far. There's not a doubt. Not a doubt. I don't care what anyone says. He is the best. And we were talking about something, and he was talking about knowing what I was worth. He's like, let me tell you this. He's like, I've toured all over the world. Yeah. I did official remixes for Pitbull, for Kesha, and I turned down Tiesto. And I still know I'm the shit. I know I'm the worth. Like, am I gonna flaunt that? No. Am I gonna be a dick because of that? No.
Yeah.
But you exude a certain energy when you know what you're worth.
Yeah. Because
you respect yourself. If you respect yourself, you're gonna be able to respect others and give credit where credit's due. That's why, you know, it's really important. Deal with your problems. So that way you can help others deal with their problems, because you will never. Those are things you have to be internally here set before you can be a good musician, before you can be anything, a good partner, a good lover. I mean, that's really what I'm finding out, my short experience of life, 25 years on this earth, because it all comes back to who you are. You know, if you stray away from that and you're constantly faking it, I promise you will burn out and you won't make it. You might have some success, sure. Yeah. There's no doubt that stuff still does happen. Right. But, you know, in the long term, that's my whole goal is to just enjoy it, be happy. And so as long as I'm doing that, the easiest way to do that is just to be me. And to have people around me who just respect others and who will be friends with each other. Yep. You know, I think I always say this to my girlfriend, like, all my friends are best friends with each other. You know, I brought Max to meet one of my best friends, Raz, in LA. Yep. They hit it off like they knew each other their entire lives. And I was sitting there, I'm like, this is giving me anxiety because they're hitting it off that well. Yeah, are they better friends? You know, but it's beautiful. And so I worked really hard to have that. I finally have people in my life who get and accept me for me fully, whether I'm a musician, whether I'm a garbage man, does not matter. And who accept, you know, themselves and those around them. And it's really cool that I've been able to create this, like, you know, little group of mine where it's like if I introduce you to anyone, you're going to hit it off with them because I know what you are. Yep. I know what I am. Yep. I know what we both value. Yep. And so I'm not going to bring someone around you who won't do that. So yeah, I love that. I don't know. I'm very blessed, fortunate. I mean, don't get me wrong. My life is a shit show sometimes. I'm not going to lie. You know this. Yeah. But, you know, it's always like it's this battle between short term and long term. Like, sorry if I'm talking too much, by the way. But it's a battle between short term and long term. Like, you have to... It does not minimize things that are happening that are terrible right now. But I know at the end of the day, if I wake up, especially right now, what the fuck am I bitching about? You know? Like, at the very core, it doesn't minimize the fact that I'm broke. It doesn't minimize the fact that shit's rough. It doesn't minimize the fact that I can't DJ in front of a crowd or a club. Yeah. But at the very least, I'm still here. Yep. And so I'll make the most of that every day. As long as I'm here. And when it's done, it's done. That's it. So, yeah.
Flynn, what do you think about this statement? I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've kind of tried to reword it on my own. You can't help someone until they're ready to be helped, right? What if we took out help and we said grow? And apply it to yourself. Yeah. I can't grow until I'm ready to grow.
Yeah, you... You know
what I mean?
It's something I know about you and me. Max, and you know, my girlfriend, Gracie. Yeah. We're all creatives. Yeah. And we all know this about ourselves. We know what's right. Yeah. We know when we're fucking it up. Yep. And my soccer coach in high school was a Serbian guy, Vlako Minic. And best advice I've gotten ever. Yeah. Because I'm translating from soccer. Okay. When your teammate fucks up. Yeah. If you are bitching at them, they probably already know they fucked up. True. So what are you doing? Yeah. You know, if it's a fuck up, and you know, and the next time they're doing it, you don't need to go on that person, because if they're on that team, especially in professional setting,
yeah, I like that.
You know when you fuck up, and you know that as a professional, it's your job to write that. Yep. And a professional will do that. And as people, we stray away from that. We're like, oh, well, you know, we'll give advice, and then we won't take it. Like, I used to be guilty of that up until maybe a couple of years ago before I started DJing. And really, it forces you to deal with everything, your problems, your accepting your faults and where your shortcomings are, accepting what you're good at. Yeah. So that way you know how to work within yourself. Yeah. So that way you can work with others and understand others. Because we work with a multitude of people, very different personalities, different workflows, different settings. And so... But we know that we can understand them because we understand ourselves. We can find something in them to better understand. Yeah, got you. And so what you said is perfect. Like, you will not grow until you are ready to grow. Yep. And you have to constantly ask yourself, in order to avoid missing those opportunities, I think, like, am I doing everything that I need to be doing? Like, is this what, like, you know, have it written out, like your goals. Like, we made the goal sheets and stuff, and I always look back, like, is this what I set out to do? Yes. Hold yourself accountable. Is it okay that I'm diverging a little bit this way? Yeah. Am I okay with that? Yeah. Is it not okay? And if so, what do I need to do to correct it back? And then eventually it becomes a habit, you know, where you're constantly checking yourself and you're just like, God damn it, I was an asshole there. And you're texting someone from 5 years ago about spilling a drink on them. You're like, hey, bro, I just want to let you know I'm so sorry. They're like, what? Flynn? Hi, it's fine. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, and as dumb as it is, like, that's literally the best advice I could ever give anyone as a person. Like, hold yourself accountable. The moment you can do that, then you have the right, if you really want to be snarky, to hold others accountable.
Yep.
Which is the whole reason why couples fight. It's the whole reason you're not doing this, you're not doing that, blah, blah, blah. Why people get fired from jobs, why they're stressed. Like, we all know what the solutions are to our problems.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part.
Yeah.
So you just have to have the conversation with yourself and accept either you're going to do it because your dreams and your life is that important to have to do that, or you accept that you won't and you accept where you are.
Yep.
And either is fine, to be honest. Either is fine, as long as you are honest with yourself.
Yep.
You know, and I think that's beautiful, you know, because then it's like, I'll ask people, like, hey, do you really want this? Like, what's your dream with music?
Yep.
And they're like, honestly, you know, I just want to DJ on town, do it. I have my life here, I'm good. Beautiful.
Perfect.
That is beautiful. That's the goal.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
the goal. To know what you want.
I feel like I sound like Gary Vee. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you had a little voice inflection there.
But it's beautiful. And I have friends who work 9 to 5s who are so happy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, that's amazing.
Yep.
That's the whole goal. And we as others have to support that. Even if we don't think it's what they are capable of. Mm-hmm. If they are happy, then so what? If you're not hurting anyone else, then so what? You know? And so that starts from having it here. I know I expect to be doing this the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I know I want that for other artists who are better than me, who could do it, and they won't. And I had to accept, because these people were telling me, yo, I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, are you out of your mind? You're wasting your potential, your talent, blah, blah, blah. And I realized, dude, they've been telling me the answer the entire time. Like, they're happy.
Yeah.
Why should I complain? I should be supportive of that.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, adding stress to their life for something they don't want.
Yeah.
You know? And so, I don't know, it's beautiful. I think that phrase, that statement, you should. Like, you won't grow until you want to grow. And we can't expect others to grow when they don't want to grow.
Totally.
You know?
And I think that's probably the biggest problem we all have with each other as society is, like, refusing to accept another person's success or failure.
Yeah.
Right? If you're failing, why aren't you doing better? If you're doing great, why am I not doing better than you?
It's always comparison.
It's always a comparison, man. And like, that's why I admire you in so many ways, because I just see you and you acknowledge all those things, but you're concerned about yourself, and that's what I meant with selfishness. But you also are so selfless that you're willing to help out anybody.
Well, yeah, the only reason I can do that is because I've taken care of it in here, you know?
Yeah, bro.
If, I feel like we're getting deep. I love it. It's,
deep.
People don't acknowledge what they're going through. They don't. We will try to fight it. It's natural.
It's our society is.
It's and frankly, it's American society.
True.
Europeans are a lot more, I mean, don't get me wrong, it depends where in Europe you are.
True.
But, you know, they're a lot more accepting of enjoying life versus having success in financial dreams and goals or whatever. Like, they just want to be happy.
They want to live a fulfilling life. Yeah, for sure.
And so I know for a fact the only reason I can help people is because I'm selfish in helping myself first.
Like that.
And no one else can do that for me.
Yeah.
We all look to people and we wonder why we're getting let down. And we feel let down when someone's not there for us, or we're going through a hard time and everyone's dropping us. But then you realize, as cold as this is going to sound, it's not their job. Mm-hmm. It's like you should want them to care. You should want them to care.
Yeah.
But if they don't do it, you can't be mad.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, if you care about you, then frankly, that's all you need. And so when you have that fulfillment within, then you can go and help others. Because if you really are let down, then you're gonna make sure no one else feels that way.
Yep.
So you have to take care of the shit in here anyways to be able to go do that.
Dude, true.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, as complicated it is, it's very simple. And it's keys to life. I feel like, I mean, like I said, I don't know shit, but I know I've lost everything multiple times in a lot of different ways. And so for me, I know what that feeling's like at the bottom.
Yeah.
I know what it's like at the top.
Yeah.
I know that the entire time I've gone through multiple changes, but since I've established, I know what I am, I'm good, I got me. Regardless of any position I am, whether I'm broke or whether I'm at the top, the last 5 years, I'm still the same to others. I can still help others. And when I need the time to myself, I take it.
Yep.
And if you care about your friends, you'll do that because you don't want to take it out on them. And so, I don't know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, Sherm.
Goddamn, bro. This kid's fucking speaking some real shit right now, man. But I didn't ask those questions. I didn't bring up any of these things because I didn't want you to say anything different, man.
It's things that people don't say.
Yeah.
Can I actually say something?
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole point of this rebrand, I don't know if I should look here to the younger DJs. The whole point of the rebrand.
Look there.
There?
Yeah.
Suzette?
Yeah.
The whole point of the rebrand is really to, like, be honest. No one tells you how shitty this shit can be.
Yeah. In the music industry?
In the music industry.
Yeah.
No one can tell you that. And as a creative, it's the same thing as the athlete, whatever. No one tells
you. Hear about it.
You hear about it, and everyone thinks it's going to be great. It won't happen to me. It will happen to you. You'll be in very tough spots as a person.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be screwed over. And by people you think that cared about you.
Yeah.
You'll be lied to. But on the flip side, you have people who will take care of you.
Right.
You have people who will make sure you get paid. You have people who will give you opportunities. You have to ride out a lot of that. A lot of the shit. You know when to pick your battles.
Yeah.
Because if I acted like how I wanted to, I would not be DJing anywhere. I would have gone off on so many people.
Yeah.
But I realized
you were ready to.
I realized I'm not gonna let this person dictate my dream.
Yeah.
Whether it's intentional or not.
Right.
I still have to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And be as honest as you can with yourself and with others. Understand that even the assholes have a story as to why they're an asshole. And then you can better understand how to move forward in your music career. And how to work with certain people who you may think are shady and slimy.
Yeah.
Because those things exist. They are there. Just as there's negative, there's a positive. You know,
Mm-hmm.
You have to acknowledge both. And so find that one person who takes care of you and go off of there. And then the rest will, you attract, your vibe attracts your tribe type shit. It's true. I hate saying that because I hate that phrase.
You going to Electric Forest this year?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, you brought the Molly Rocks, bro.
I love it though, man. It's so true.
Yeah, and I have that literally, I have a flag of that. It's literally a panda that says your vibe attracts your tribe.
I mean, it's so true, man.
And it's true. What you put out is what you're going to get. And so if you fall into the dark, seedy stuff, because don't get me wrong, you will. You will at certain points. Know that it's okay, but know that you have to pull yourself out of it when you recognize it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And no one says that. No one says it's okay to do that. And I'm telling you it is. Go be a bad person. Kidding. Sarcasm.
Go be yourself.
Yeah, just go be yourself, and you'll end up exactly where you need to be.
God, you literally answered the question I was gonna ask.
Oh, what's the question?
Ask it. What would you say to not just DJs and producers, but creatives, not even creatives. What would you say to people who have struggled this year, that have struggled with identity their whole life?
Yeah.
And now you, who has done so many different things, Flynn, you know what I mean? Like I talked about it before we got on air. You were a pro soccer player. You traveled the world. You were in Sweden at, what, 17 years old?
No, I was 19.
19.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
19. Might as well be 17.
Yeah, basically, it's the same thing.
You went back and forth from Iowa. You played soccer in El Paso?
It's Brownsville, Texas.
Brownsville, Texas.
It's where the detention camps are for the...
Way more south.
Yeah.
You've seen and met a lot of different people in your life. And in my opinion, already being 25 years old, you've lived a few different lifetimes.
Yeah.
And I think that you've seen all the things that you've talked about. You've seen light, you've seen dark, you've been on both sides.
Yeah.
Now you kind of find yourself in the middle, knowing what the difference is.
Mm-hmm.
And do you think only through life experience you've been able to do that? Or if someone is having identity issues, whether it be in the music career or music business?
I think it's, in terms of applying that lesson to your career.
Yeah.
you have to. I think it's one thing. It literally comes down to it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
But you have to know and accept when it is in order to be okay.
Okay.
In anything, and so.
Yeah.
I know for me personally, I've lived in my car. I've dabbled in very toxic things that jeopardized my life and did.
Yep.
And I've also done amazing things and been a fitness model and done all that stuff.
Right.
Your job and to the extremes, you know,
Yeah.
on one side or the other, like putting on 20 pounds to be a fitness model
That's
and then
exactly what I meant, bro.
destroying my brain with freaking every substance you could ever think of.
Yeah.
And that's me. You know, I've done both those things, and I lucked out that I'm here. But you have to understand that it's your job to not. You can be extreme in some things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I have addictive personality, so I heard this NPR podcast. Love NPR. Love
you
it.
Listen to NPR.
And literally, it talked about someone who's addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
Rechanneling the addictive personality into positive things. You know, so like, for example, my addiction to raging at one point in my life and destroying my body.
Yeah.
I channel it now into fitness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a lot better. That same drive, that same determination to do that.
Go.
You just have to direct that go, and so.
Yeah, I love that.
As a creative.
It's not easy to do, right?
Well, yeah, it's not easy. It takes a long time. You know, it's something I work with every day. It's something I struggle with every day too.
Yeah.
It benefits me and it kills me every day. You have to accept, one, that it's okay to be in either thing, like I said. But two, understand that if you are in that, you have to know how it's going to affect your dreams, the people around you that care about you, and yourself. Because to me, those are the three things I focus on, like my family, you guys, my friends, my peers, myself, and my music dreams.
Yeah.
And so if one of those things is becoming detrimental to that, then you have to look in the mirror and say, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Are the friends worth it? Are you worth it?
Mm-hmm.
Are the dreams worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you say yes, like, is it worth it to do all this and it's gonna, you know, get rid of one of these things? And you say, I'm done with it, move on. Like my soccer career, I had 4 injuries that were like 6 months and 5 years.
Yeah. After spending your whole life working towards
that. And like my pro career, as awesome as it was so short. It would be considered a failure in modern day terms.
Yeah.
But at one point, I literally was going through my hip surgery recovery, and I'm just like, dude, I want to be able to walk when I'm older. I want to be able to, if I ever have kids, want to be able to play with their grandkids and not have a fake hip or fake knee or whatever. And so I stopped it because I realized, like, my dream was not worth it at that point because it was affecting me and those I loved.
Yeah. Long
term. And so you just have to have honest conversations with yourself. Honest conversations and really acknowledge what's happening. Like, acknowledge the shitty people. Acknowledge when the shitty people can help you.
Yeah.
Acknowledge what it is, I mean, in terms of music, like acknowledging that you will have to work with assholes. And those assholes will plug you. And some of the nice people won't plug you. And you're like, what the fuck? It's mind-boggling. But you have to know what you're doing and be upfront about it, you know?
Yep.
Like, if I'm working with an asshole, I will keep my interactions minimal because I want to respect the business. It's all about the business then. And that's it. So find one thing in everything that's going to make you be able to do your dream and stay true to you without conceding any of that.
Yep.
Because to me, that, like, finding that positive where it's like, okay, this person may be a jerk, but I know that then I can turn around and book my friends who deserve opportunities, then are you going to just be like, oh, he's a jerk, I'm not going to work with him?
Yep.
Or you bite the bullet in the short term, which is nothing, take a few words.
Right.
And then you get to plug homies that deserve to be playing.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's the whole goal. So I don't know if that answered the question.
I think it did.
But you know, as an artist that's creative, you're still doing this shit because you believe in it.
Yeah.
You know, if you've been through the quarantine and you're still going for it.
Yeah.
You clearly want this.
It matters to you.
It matters to you. And so don't lose sight of that no matter what else is going on. Like, acknowledge there will be very rough times. This is probably the roughest time for any creative in our lifetime that we will experience.
Oh, without a doubt, man. I mean, we're living through history.
Yeah, this will be our Great Depression, our Spanish flu, our World War II. It's our life-changing moment. And so grind through this. It sucks. That's not the sexiest answer, but you know it's gonna suck.
It's the right answer, bro.
Yeah, you know it's gonna suck.
You remember? I don't know if you saw this. Our good friend Nick Matsey.
Reason why I'm a DJ.
He's the man, and he's gonna be doing some really big things this year. But he just shared this simple post, and all it said was, "I want to see what happens if I don't quit."
Yeah.
And it's so simple, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of the attitude that I've had for so long, and to see it kind of put so simply, and to hear you say all those things, I think that just kind of encapsulates so much of what it's like to be an artist right now. Is how easy it would be to quit and how understandable it is.
Absolutely.
For yourself, for your friends, for your family, whatever it might be. It's understandable to give this shit up.
Yeah. No one will blame you.
If you have 1% battery, bro, find a fucking charger and see what happens when you're 100%.
So,
you know what I mean?
Abby Wambach's mom.
Yeah.
Abby Wambach, best women's soccer player of all time.
Yes.
Honestly, like statistically. Yeah, like
Abby Wambach's the shit.
She's fucking, she would destroy me on a field. She is
Could we beat her
so
2-on-1?
good. Huh?
Could we beat her 2-on-1?
No. No, not a chance.
So you're saying I suck too.
I'm saying we equally suck.
Okay, fair.
Her mom, is another NPR story. If you don't listen to NPR, listen to it.
That's what I'm learning today.
It's like, so she's telling the story, and she was going to quit in high school. She was going to quit. Really? She wasn't happy. She hated it. And her mom gave the best advice, which, honestly, if I was going to give advice, it's this. If you don't like it, that's fine. You can quit.
Yeah.
But quit or have that decision made when it starts getting good again. When you start getting to a point where it's hitting and it's good, work back to that point, and if you can honestly say that you want to quit then you know for you, it's over. Yeah. And it doesn't mean anything. But we want to quit when it's hard. We do. And so, but if you can get back to that point, and you're like, I don't even know why I was quitting.
That's when regret happens, right?
You will regret everything. And I know for me, like, I know for my soccer career, the whole reason why I had hip surgery after, pretty much near the end, is because I had to go back from me, play with a semi-pro team in Aurora, and just with no pressure, right? And just be around people that knew me. I was going through this kind of like transformation within me and transitioning from soccer player to artist. Yeah, I just needed to know, like, do I still love the sport? Yeah, because if I do, and I still want to quit, that's beautiful. And I went through that whole season, and I remember, I was like, yeah, I love the sport, but I'm done. I'm done. You followed her advice. I followed my advice, and you have to see it out. And so I recommend, if you want to give up or anything, like, I implore you to stick through all this shit. If you already made it this far, there's no reason to stop now. Yeah. And so if you can get back, work yourself back to a point where you're happy doing it, have that conversation immediately. Is this something I still want? Because it's really easy to turn your back when it's hard. It's a lot harder to turn your back when it's good. Because then you're making the right decision as opposed to the right time to make that decision. So true. And then you'll be happy because no one can fault you, and I would be crushed to know that if I stopped today, but then my tracks are blowing up and I'm not even DJing anymore, I'd be like, what the fuck was I thinking?
We're in so deep, bro.
Yeah, you're already in deep, doing whatever it is. So
I agree. It's and even and this is advice too. Even if you are just wanting to get into this, if you're like, why would I get into this?
There's not a better time.
Listen to what Flynn said too. Yeah. The competition bubble is shrinking. It's getting more talented, but at the same time, there's going to be more opportunity.
But just know that there's not a better time. There's not a better time to do it because once this shit reopens, I know I'm going balls to the wall.
Yeah, and well, that's the thing. You've been going balls to the wall.
I've been going balls to the wall the entire time, and it sucked. It has sucked in so many ways, but I know that once this shit reopens, I will be in a lot better spot than if I just decided to not release music because I was afraid that it wouldn't be able to be played everywhere, when in reality, I'm just building the momentum to
Totally,
hit this
bro.
shit hard, to keep the momentum. Our biggest fear when this shit was happening was the momentum stopping for me as a performing artist.
Which is totally understandable.
Yeah, and I was playing every fucking weekend at Prism or
Big
Concord,
shows.
big shows. Like
I
it was
mean,
going.
Radius just open. Like,
Yeah.
you had everything in front of you. But you remember what I said? I think it was pretty early on. It must have been in May. I said, everybody's on the bench, right? Everybody's on the fucking bench. But guess what? This is an off season, and it's an extended off season. And whether we know it or not, there's a coach
Yeah.
out there that is
Watching.
checking scouts.
Yeah.
Don't do it for them, but just know that there's going to be opportunity one day.
I mean, yeah, this is like the whole Bring the Kingdom thing.
Yeah.
Like that would have never happened if I just decided to not release music. If I decided to stop sending music to labels. If I decided, to care about the brand because I didn't think it was the right time.
Yep.
And whether people want to admit it or not, this is a full-time thing, even when it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
it's in your sleep.
It's in your sleep, and that doesn't change whether a pandemic is happening or not. Obviously, life takes precedence if certain things are happening at home.
Sure.
Take the time to do that.
Absolutely.
But you're doing that because you want to get back to what you want to do.
Yep.
And what you believe in. And so, this is not a time to just stop working. It's the time to work harder. Because it'll be recognized. This is the first time everyone's eyes are on their phone. Everyone's eyes are on internet 24/7.
Yeah.
Or the time, if you're a movie maker, make a fucking movie. Put it out. Now, you have platform after platform after platform of
We got
free-
YouTube.
You have YouTube. Like, what else do you need? Like, sure, it'll take some time. But honestly, building that brand now, there's not a better time. You have 3 months to hit this shit hard. You have all your
man.
heaters. Release one of them right now.
See what happens.
See what happens.
Make another one.
Yeah, because as you say, if you made that track, there will always be more tracks you made.
I mean, listen to what we just did, bro. We went through all your music. I think you get better and better with each track. That's something I talk about in every single interview, especially this past year. Do you release music during the pandemic when you can't play it live, when you're making hygienic music? My personal opinion, yes, because every single time you release a track, there's a big difference between when it's in Logic or it's in your DAW and you listen to it and you send it to your friends and say, great, and then all of a sudden it's live and you're like, it doesn't sound the same. I think I doubt myself, right?
Yeah.
Be vigilant in that sort of shit. Be confident, and then know I'm going to have an opportunity because I put myself out there. And that's more than most.
Yeah, and know that you don't need anyone to validate that.
You
Because
don't.
At the end of the day...
You don't.
At the end of the day, your craft, whether it's music, whether it's your photos, whether it's the videos, it's honestly, at the end of the day, for you. That's why you're doing it.
Yeah, bro.
And so you will recognize, hey, it may not get the plays and the festival videos of their song being dropped, but it will do what it needs to do for you.
Yeah.
And
love that, Flynn. Dude, this has been such a great conversation with you, man.
Me too. I don't know how long we talked.
I don't either. We usually don't, but we're having a good time.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
I want to just acknowledge you again, bro. Like, I know that you're confident in what you're doing, but you exude this energy that is so unique and so special, and anyone who's around you or knows you feels welcome. And I think that's truly unique in the Chicago scene. I think that's truly unique in the music scene. And just keep wearing your heart on your sleeve, bro. And I mean, this rebrand for you, it's not even a rebrand.
It's a life-changing experience.
It's a growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a growing moment for you, and it's like what I said. Like, you are ready to grow.
I need it.
And I see that in you, and I feel that.
Yeah, I'm grateful, man. I mean, you, Tony, Colton, believing in that. We need to shout out Colton more. Colton, literally, I told.
It's all Colton.
I told Colton he has more pull over you and Tony.
He does.
And over me.
Definitely.
Because that's his video. His first ever video was one of my first ever gigs. Like, maybe the first ever gig I played on my own.
Yeah, Colton's a man, and shout out to Colton. You guys got to check him out as well.
Yeah,
Colton
Work to
Lockhart,
Create, WRK.
Yeah,
to create.
Very talented guy, very motivated. He's just like Flynn because he's law of attraction. He will literally skull fuck this dream into existence.
And understand too, like, yo, we're all just a kid from somewhere.
Yep.
There's no reason why I should be you, but there's also no reason why I can't be you.
We gotta end on that.
Yeah, we gotta end on that. Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you.
Mom, I love you. Dad, I love you.
And shout out to my dog and Gracie and the man Sherm.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you go check out Flynninho on all social media. Check out Kickstart My Art, and we got some big things coming in 2021. Hope you guys have a great year.
Shouts to Suzette, baby.
Shout out to Suzette, my video editor.